and welcome to the broadcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Season 6, Episode 39, Episode 264, which by my count means our last episode of the season should be Episode 270.
Oh. I'm glad that you were on the numbers because
Yeah.
270, nice.
Yeah. Huh. Just a number.
270 episodes.
That's a lot of episodes.
A lot of episodes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It sure is.
Sure is. 270 to be exact. Yeah.
I think we've all had fairly big weekends. Well, you two did. I didn't. I just have a story about Zach, which will make everybody laugh, which is not important either way. But Shandy, you ran in Big Sur, and Amanda, you had your brother's wedding, and I feel like I was there experiencing the entire wedding alongside your mom's social media posts, so this has been
that was great.
Amazing.
She's stolen most of those photos and videos from other people.
I know!
Because her and myself included, like, I don't know where my phone was during 80% of the wedding.
Yeah. She did it right. She credited other people. I loved it though.
Yeah. It was just
it looked beautiful.
It was really nice.
Yeah,
Mother Nature showed up weather-wise. It was supposed to be like not a great day, and Mother Nature was like, "Nah, I got you."
Nice.
I just before you start, Amanda, you looked stunning. Like the bride was beautiful. I loved her dress, but you look stunning. Like that color is perfect on you, and you looked like you were glowing, and your hair was a knockout. Like you looked beautiful.
The hair was good. Yeah, I really liked the people the women she found to do the hair and makeup. They did a very good job.
Nice. I liked all the bridesmaids slightly different cuts in the same color of dress. I very much appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and some of that was just like sheer luck. Like we all were kind of musing about it because we all live in different places, and, we didn't really confer with each other. Like the edict was like, here's the website, here's the color, here's the length, here's the material, have at it. And there's like 875 different dresses that fit within that criteria.
Awesome.
So it was either we were like 3 people were going to end up in the same dress by accident. Like it just it could have gone so many.
Yeah, literally everyone had a different
sideways.
one. Yeah. I remember looking at the picture and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Like it could have not gone so well. So we really just got lucky that everybody picked something different and they all worked together, and no one picked anything that was like completely sort of out in left field, like by themselves.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
We got lucky.
Looks beautiful. I loved the song that your mom posted today too. That they let everyone in right after.
Yes,
they did. Everybody sang. It was really cool. You'd think with that many singers in the crowd, there would have been a bit more harmony, but I think we were all a little like, no one wants to be that extra person. So,
be that extra person.
I'll just hang here with the melody. Don't draw too much attention to yourself. It's not your day.
It's not like when you're singing in church and everyone around you is terrible and you're like, oh my God, I have to bring some kind of thing to pull this together.
We have to save this.
Joy to the world. Anyway.
Man, Easter Sunday, the Hallelujah chorus. Yeah, my church did the Hallelujah chorus on Easter. I don't know why, but yeah, that was my jam.
Because he is risen. But is it a...
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I just always did it on Easter. But, it's an extra opportunity to sing the Hallelujah chorus. Like, that's never a bad thing.
I know, right? I mean, it's the best.
It's the best. It's the best.
Anyway, though, tell us anything else about the wedding. It looked great. It looked beautiful.
It was really, really fun. Baby girl did really good. Sorry, I have lost my voice. We are all sick in this house. Baby has a fever. Daniel's down for the count. My voice has taken a minor vacation somewhere. Hopefully it comes back tomorrow. But it was fun. Clearly clearly we are not used to partying, so it's like we just all. But yeah, little girl did really well. She lasted at least through dinner, so that was good.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah, she during the mother of the groom dance, we snuck her out, and she went back to the hotel with her other grandparents that kindly drove all the way from Ohio to
Wow.
to watch her for the weekend and sort of be our
That's awesome.
That's
our live-in
amazing.
nannies.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. I can't wait for the professional photos to come because I really didn't take that many. I realized I don't have like one good picture of my daughter in her outfit. I like just didn't do it because I didn't know where my phone was. They don't make bridesmaids dresses with pockets. Actually, that's not true. They do make bridesmaids.
I
dresses
did have
with
a
pockets.
bridesmaid's.
I just did not get. Yeah. I just
I
did not
still
get
have it. Yeah, that's definitely one that I've reworn because
because it's
got fucking pockets.
Yeah.
got pockets.
Yeah.
Or like if there was a way like you could make the bouquets where you could just like shove your phone in the flowers.
Oh.
That could be kind of cool. But
But I
do
think
know
just not having your phone and being present in the moment, and then you'll get the professional ones.
exactly.
Yeah,
It was
that's a good
pretty
point.
good, and the photographers were like all up on my baby. So I know I
Nice.
know
You are covered.
they will come through, and there'll be some really great pictures.
Nice.
That's awesome. The flowers also, speaking of, looked beautiful too. Like
They
just
were
everything
great.
about that wedding looked great. Not to
Yeah, bright colors. My girl is not into pastels, so
Girl
bright
after my own
colors.
heart.
yeah. And when they came in with the flowers, we're all like, "Those are so pretty." And
Go
it was like our
bold.
local florist from like the town we grew up in. It's
Nice.
and
Nice.
she just like knocked it out of the park. She's just like this, sort of small town florist, and she's like fold up her sleeves, and it's like boom.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah, and they're gorgeous. Yeah, they're sitting. I brought my bouquet home. It's sitting in a vase on our little kitchen island, and it's
Aw.
Nice.
the
That's
peonies are
awesome.
starting to fade. They are now a pastel. They were not. They were not on Saturday. They are a pastel now. But
It's a magic trick.
yeah,
Well, that's
it was-
great.
It was really good, and I'm just
Tired.
I'm tired and like a little bummed to not be feeling so great today. But
Aw.
how lucky are we to have an experience that then makes us run down and tired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And congratulations again to Chris and Jen. No, what's
Yes.
Hooray.
Yeah.
And congratulations to your mom, because she also looked beautiful, and I hope she's listening right
Yes,
now.
she
Because
was
her dress was
stunning.
gorgeous as well.
She looks like a Greek goddess.
I know. I love that dress. She was very like, I don't know. How about this? Like, just, and it's like, Mom, embrace it. You look great. Stop worrying.
Yep.
You look wonderful. Just own it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It looked good. Yeah. It was a good
Nice
time.
job, Mama G.
Yeah. Good time had by all.
Did they go on a honeymoon?
Not yet. As far as I know, I don't even think anything is planned.
Okay.
I think they were just trying to like get through the wedding
Yeah.
and the school year. It's like they're both educators, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to
To
focus
go down.
on planning so many things in addition to that. So I think they're sort of aiming for something hopefully in July, and they have some ideas.
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't think anything is booked, as it were.
Okay. I'm looking at the pictures again, and yeah, your mom's dress is very Greek goddessy. I love the belt and the sleeves.
The belt is clutch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. She had that like added to the dress. Yeah, I
Nice.
thought that came out really nice.
Okay. Sorry. Not to be all creepy on your mom's Facebook page.
Oh no, I'm sure she loves it.
Okay, good. As I just realized, like, oh, okay, maybe that might be a little creepy. Let's see. Oh, Shandy, Big Sur, duh.
Yeah. Marathon number 8. in
That's
the book.
insane. That is
Insane.
so many
I
marathons.
know.
Oh man, Big Sur. Still, like, my best marathons have been Big Sur, and my worst marathons have been Big Sur. And this year was another fucking hard one.
Oh no.
It did not go as I had hoped. But unlike last time, which was also very rough, I did not bawl through it. And I'm like at peace with it. It started out okay. Oh my God. I didn't shit myself. So that's like, that's a win.
It's a plus.
I was having I didn't, sorry. I mean, well, sorry, whatever. You guys don't care. I was going to say sorry for the poop talk, but like,
No,
it's very on brand for the broadcast. And I mean, you can't really talk about distance running for too long without, talking
You
about
never need a disclaimer about poop on here.
Yeah, I hear that as a thing if you run more than X amount of miles. I've never run more than like 6 miles at a time, so I wouldn't know. But I have heard this is a thing.
gets the things going. Frank actually did see somebody who had shit himself. And it was like, he said it was like an older gentleman. So I kind of felt like bad for him. But he just kept going. So
Okay.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
And,
what
like,
can you do at that point?
Yeah.
I mean, the show must go on. You've got to get
The show must go
6.2.
I mean, yeah.
And
It's not like
you're
you
with-
can just like walk off the course. It's like you
right.
gotta finish.
Right. Yeah. But no, I like didn't shit before we left for the bus, which is like, that's not good. That's not good. But it's such a hard thing because it's like, when you get up at 3:00 in the morning,
Right. Like
your body's not really like,
you're not ready. You're not
Sometimes-
awake.
yeah. Sometimes like I have success. Sometimes I don't. I mean, not necessarily at 3:00 in the morning, but then by the time you get down there and you're waiting, you have some time to like, for your bowels to wake up, but it wasn't happening. And so during the race, I thought it was going to need to happen. And then it kind of went away. And then there were porta potties at like, I don't know, mile 5 or something. And I was like, okay, I really need to like try to shit. And which kind of sucked because that it was like early on. And so there were a lot of people in line for those porta potties, wasted like 5 minutes waiting there, tried to shit, couldn't even poop.
Oh no!
So, like,
That's the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah.
You like took the time. You're like,
I
I'm gonna
know.
do it.
Yeah.
I know
So,
how you
like,
feel
okay.
intimately. No, I get it.
Oh,
My anxiety meds that I've been taking since January, I only poop like twice a week and it sucks. It
Ooh.
shit.
sucks.
Is that like a side effect? Does your doctor say that's okay?
No, she was like, you're only the second person that's ever told me this. And I'm like, when you Google it, it's literally listed as a list of symptoms. Yeah, it's so bad because I'm like so bloated like half the week. But I started doing 2 weeks ago now. I started doing apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon in the morning and the afternoon, and it actually has helped a little bit. So fingers crossed. Yeah.
That's
Anyway, pooping, running, marathons.
Running, pooping. So yeah, no, so as you said, the show must go on. So I keep going. And then there's this point like right before about the 10-mile mark, where you sort of come down and like go around this big bend. And then at about 10 miles, you start this like 2-mile climb. It's the hardest part of the marathon. It's rough. It's really fucking rough. And so, of course, as I'm running down, because you run down to then go up, as I'm running down towards the bend, poop's there. Gotta poop.
Oh, no!
Gotta poop like now. Gotta fucking poop. And I was like, okay, there's gotta be, like, I was like misremembering, thinking that there would be an aid station at the bottom of that bend before you go up the hill. And I was like, okay, I'll poop at the end. So we get to where Frank's still with me at this point. We get to where we can see it, and he's like, "There's not an aid station down there." I'm like, "Oh my god, what am I gonna do?" And then it turned out there was stuff though down there, which is also why we kind of thought there was an aid station.
Okay.
We got a little closer. It was like a little like construction. They were like doing some like road construction, and he's like, "There's an outhouse at that road construction." Like, and then he's like looking. He's like, "The door just opened. Somebody came out. It's operational." Like, and so I just
go!
It's go time.
to the construction site outhouse.
It was the fastest part of my marathon.
I mean, if you don't
was-
poop in a construction outhouse while you're running a marathon, are you really doing it right?
Right.
How
yeah.
is this not your best marathon? I mean, that alone.
It was perfect timing. So then after that point, then like we did the 2-mile climb. That's at that point Frank and I separated. He's still stronger than me right now on hills.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just like go do your thing. I don't want you to be like waiting for me. And the thing is like, if it's so hard at a race to like run with somebody because I think even the first like 10 miles of the race, I was going a little bit faster than I should have because we were running together.
Yeah.
And he was, he was going slower than he could. But like, so there's this weird tug of war type thing.
Yeah.
That we weren't even conscious of. So just like go do your thing. And, I ran up the hill and it's great. Like you get to the top, you have this amazing view, you run down like a mile of downhill, which is like so welcome after the climb. And that's when you run across Bixby Bridge and you hear this pianist playing like a baby grand piano in a tuxedo right after Bixby Bridge. It's like pretty magical. There was this woman running next to me at about the bridge and she was like, because at this point there was also a bunch of wind, which was another factor that made it really fucking hard this year. So much headwind. Like as you're running up a 2-mile incline, super strong headwinds. But anyway, she was like, oh, that must be somebody's like music on their phone that's like carrying all this way in the wind. And I was like, clearly this was her first Big Sur. Like, no, that is a person playing the piano. Well, you'll see. We'll get there. But that whole part was like majestic. And I was thinking at that point, man, if I was just doing a half marathon, like I'd be done now and I'd be good. And like, it still wouldn't have been my fastest race, but like would have been okay. Like a respectable showing. But then, you have to do the same thing, like the same distance again. And so after like maybe like the 14-mile mark, I could just feel that I was just like had run out of gas. Just like the wind, the uphill, that's when I was like, oh, right. I didn't really train on hills. Like I know better, but I just.
Did you lose momentum stopping to poop at the bottom that you had to like kind of get rewarmed up or?
I think it kind of put a little pep in my step, honestly. That one wasn't bad. There were other stops. Yeah. Sometimes it's really hard to keep going once you've stopped for any amount of time, like to grab water or anything. It is kind of harder, I find sometimes, but depending. But no, that was just like I was lighter on my feet. But yeah, so I was just like starting to feel it at 14 miles, being like, oh shit, like how am I going to finish this? Like it's not how I usually feel halfway through a marathon.
Yeah.
It's like, but last time I did. So like, okay, just like mentally go from aid station to aid station. That's all you're concentrating on. You can do this.
Yeah.
And so I get to the aid station at about 17 miles. Great. Now get to the next one. But like immediately after leaving that, I was like, fuck, like I have no more gas. How am I going to finish this? So like 17 to 20 was a super fucking struggle. And then at somewhere around like 20 miles or 19 or 20 miles, I fell in with one of the pacing groups.
Oh, okay.
That was a way slower pace than I had ever thought I would be like doing this. But because I had slowed down so drastically, like, they caught up to me and they were doing walk run. And I was like, oh my God, okay, refocus. I just follow that fucking pacer. Like I can do this. And so we did. I needed somebody to tell me, okay, now we're running. Okay, we'll walk. Now we're running. And because I literally, like, I couldn't go any faster than that at times. I just fucking couldn't. But I really feel like that group just for the next, like 5 or so miles got me through. And then at the very end, they were still walking the last mile. And I was like, come on.
It's the last one.
Come on.
It's like at that point.
Yeah.
You could be done in 10 minutes. You could be done in 9 minutes. Just go. Yeah. Just go.
Maybe not 9 minutes, but
that's true. I don't know. There are people in this world that can do 9-minute miles. I'm usually not one of them.
Well, I can when I'm with like, I've run Big Sur with like 9.5-minute miles before, but that is neither here nor there. It's okay. Bodies change. Came through a pandemic. I wasn't running at all over the pandemic. And so by the time I finally finished, it was like, that was not the race I wanted to have, but I did have a race. I did all my training runs. I'm like back at a place where I can go running, which I wasn't doing over the pandemic, like at all. So I kind of feel like that was sort of like the kickstart that I needed.
Yeah.
And next time I will do a half marathon that's mostly flat. I think like mostly I want to concentrate now on doing shorter distances better. Like getting back to like being like at like a better level of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like there's distance running and then there's like, I don't know. I don't feel like I've gotten the fitness back, but I've at least got like
the endurance back.
So yeah. So overall, good experience. Got to the finish line and was like immediately like, who fucking got elected in France?
Well, that's why I texted you. I know you didn't have an Apple Watch, but I was hoping that maybe you would like change a podcast on your phone or something and see my notification. You'd be like, Shandy, Macron.
So here's the thing. Like I don't race with earbuds. Like
really?
Yeah, like I train with music and podcasts and stuff sometimes when I'm by myself. If I'm with Frank, then obviously I don't. But when I'm running by myself, I usually listen to something, but not for race day. Like for race day, I'm always kind of like a purist. Like I want to hear the sounds of the race. I want to, experience everything fully. But then the other thing is in Big Sur, like there's no cell service. So towards the end, it would have come through, but at that point, I'm not going to like be whipping out my phone to like check notifications as I'm like struggling to finish this race.
You're not a basket case like
focused.
me.
Singularly focused.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was good. Check the news. It was like, thank fucking God. And yeah, oh my God. And then, so that was the race.
Okay.
Then we had food, saw some friends, had some beers, whatever, had like a whole day walking around, which is good, like to not be as sore. It's like really good to kind of still, not just go like sit down for the rest of the day. So we ended up getting home at like 6 p.m. maybe. And we're at that point, it's like,
that's a long day.
Yeah. I want to take a shower. I want to sit on the couch. Like, I want to finish the HBO documentary about Elizabeth Holmes because we were...
I want to, in my case,
all the food.
Yeah, I would be like, give me all of the Fritos and all of the beer. I want them now.
I have earned every calorie.
Yes.
All of them.
So Frank's downstairs, like, sort of, half, like, falling asleep, watching TV, and I'm getting out of the shower, and all of a sudden I hear this scrub jay just, like, screeching. And I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. It sounds like it's almost in our apartment. And Gabby comes running up. I'm like, what the hell? She fucking got a scrub jay. She had brought it like upstairs into her room. It looked dead. It was just on its back. We're like, fucking Gabby. Like, that's a decent sized bird. Like, and I feel really bad. So Frank and I come and we're like looking at it. We're like, God, Gabby, what? And then she starts like, playing with it a little bit and it starts moving. We're like, oh, it's alive. So we separate them.
Oh my God.
And then Frank's trying to figure out how injured it is. We end up putting it in a little shoebox, call the SPCA. Luckily they have like a wildlife section and they were still open for another like half an hour. So we take it out there. They were so cool. This woman, looks at it, takes it inside, examines it to see like if it's really injured, if it needs to stay there, or if it could be put back. Because the first thing she tells us, takes one look at it, and she was like, "Oh, this is a baby." I didn't really. I mean, to me, it looked big because that's not like a tiny little bird.
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
And yeah, so. Apparently it's like this little fledgling scrub jay that's like, in the process kind of learning to fly. And so it's fairly common apparently for them to like fall out of the tree. And then the parents would still just like feed them on the ground. And then in like a week or so to, figure out how to fly. And so it's possible because I was like, Gabby, she does wear a bell on her collar. Like we try to be good cat parents. And the woman was like, yeah, no, that works for the adults, but like for the babies, they're just kind of clueless. And, it might have just fallen out of the tree. And so it was basically just like a sitting duck. Okay. So Gabby has to stay inside for a little while. But then we had this whole other adventure of like, so luckily it wasn't really injured somehow, which was amazing. She gave it like some antibiotics, gave it some food. And she was like, okay, well, yeah, it's good enough to like go back from whence it came. And if you can get it back to the mother, then that's, she's going to be able to do a better job than they would there because they didn't have any other scrub jays Like, okay, so we take the box. It's kind of in our neighbor's yard. It's our neighbor who is our cat sitter. So I like text them to be like, hey,
Oh my
is
God.
it cool? So anyway, we talked to them and they're like there for this whole situation. Plus we are so fucking tired after the marathon and all day of like, how are we supposed to put this box back in the tree? Like, we can't even really walk very well, let alone like climb trees and shit. It turned out to be much easier than we thought. Put it in the tree, and then it like hopped out of the box, but like into the tree, like, and went up into the tree. She had us. She was like, yeah, when you get to the tree, like, pick it up and it will squawk, and then the mom will hear it and like know, that it's there. And so we did that. It was like a whole thing.
Oh my God. And all you wanted to do was sit on the couch.
All we wanted to do was seriously, that took us like 2 hours. Then at this point, it's like 8 p.m. It's like, oh my fucking God.
So it's like you actually do have a child, because that's exactly what a post-marathon experience with a human child would be like.
I would imagine so.
Oh God. So anyway, I've been like checking in the back to like make sure that it doesn't fall. To see if it's fallen out. Gabby's been staying inside. She was like, yeah, in like a week or so it should be, have taken flight. But I did see when I came home today, I saw another neighborhood cat over in like the front of our apartment building. This is in the back of our apartment building, but it was in the front. And there was a scrub jay down in that area. And I've never really seen one down there. So I was like, fuck.
Just don't even think about it.
Did that cat get it? And now the mom's like, because why else?
You just can't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
I looked around. The cat left when it saw me.
Like,
I looked around where it was to see if I saw the bird, like, to see if it was like laying on the ground or something. I didn't see any birds. So I'm hoping that maybe the mom was just like, I'm going to chase you off just because you're a cat.
I don't know. Down this road, fool me once.
Exactly. I was like I'm so sad for the parent birds. But it was wild how she like chased after Gabby and almost came into our apartment, like defending its young.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's hope that baby scrub jay's still in the tree. And anyway, that was our end of day activity. It was pretty wild.
Oh
that sounds pretty wild.
That's so much.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. Yeah. It's pretty amazing to like actually hold a scrub jay. And so we were like, is it we touched it? She was like, oh, that whole thing about like the parents not going back if humans have touched it. That's a myth. That's not true. Oh. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that's good to know.
I think someone just started it to get people not to mishandle birds, I guess.
Well, fair.
Yeah. Speaking of misinformation like that, that's what we have coming up in a little while.
Sure do. Sure do. Anything goes.
Anything goes.
I just, you know what? Just fuck all billionaires in the face. All of them. Just all of them.
Oh, I wasn't referring to Elon Musk, but yeah, let's fuck him in the face.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you meant that misinformation was going to be, proliferated even more because
it's already there.
Ultimate free speech on Twitter. It's like, because Twitter didn't suck enough before, let's make it worse.
I never had any desire for Twitter. Now I super don't.
And the libertarians shall take over the world.
Exactly. No, this is
shall flourish.
Yeah. This is what I don't understand. It's so frustrating because even like with the French elections, it's like, great, the far right did not get elected. Although she got 42 fucking percent of the vote. But Macron is like center right. So it's like we need to be making a real big shift left.
In
order to save like the planet and like continue on as a species. And yet all we're doing everywhere.
I agree.
Just like, oh, well.
But I do think it's worth noting.
Fascism's great.
Yeah, right.
Not a good shrug.
I think
let's just go just a little bit.
It's kind of crazy.
Fascism, great.
The poll that came out for, why did you vote for Macron? Did I say it right, Shandy?
That was really good.
Okay. Yes.
Nicely done.
I'm just not going to say it anymore. I'm just going to leave it at that quote while I'm ahead. And
I'm
it
gonna
was
hear Colleen like splice it in every other place, like throughout the next 5 minutes.
um, instead of that's what she said, it's going to be just me, the clip of me saying that.
Yeah.
No, how many people, like, it was like, there was a, somebody had retweeted and they were like, signs of a healthy democracy. And it was, why did you vote for him? And the overwhelming majority was like, so Le Pen wouldn't win.
Well, that's good.
And like,
I mean, that's good. But that's also like,
I mean, that's good. If we had that mindset in 2016, oh, what a world it could have been. It would have been different.
Right.
It wouldn't have been
Right.
Trump. But like,
Well, and
instead of people just
are-
in America, they just stay at home. They're like, my people didn't win. I didn't. No, the person I wanted, I just not gonna vote. And then it's like,
you're not gonna vote. I'll show them.
yeah. And,
Well, and
but the
so-
alternative is Donald Trump. So maybe just vote.
a lot of people, like, I can't remember what
Somewhere out there, Michael David is throwing things at his headphones right now. That I just said that. I just want to say I hear you, Mike. I acknowledge you. You are heard.
No, but here's my thing for France. There's birds everywhere. It's, sorry, I don't. Could you hear the seagulls?
Yes,
Going nuts?
always.
Okay.
We can always hear the seagulls.
Okay. The thing with the French elections is that, like, I completely understand why people wouldn't want Macron to be reelected. That's fine. Obviously, we don't want Le Pen, and obviously, we don't want the person who came out who was even farther right than her. There was a pretty popular far left candidate.
He almost he come very close.
He came very close, and he's like problematic too. But like I know a lot of people who are like super into him. It kind of reminds me of the Bernie Bros.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, in France, it's like an actual democracy.
Now Mike just threw something at you.
No, but in France, it's like a real democracy where it's one person, one vote. Like, they don't have an electoral college. So for Mélenchon, the far left candidate, like, it's unfortunate then in the eyes of his supporters. Well, like, why didn't y'all get out the vote a little bit better? And like, they don't have the same, I'm sure, okay, I'm oversimplifying for sure, because I'm sure there are other barriers to voting that I'm maybe not like super aware of. But like in France, you vote on Sunday. Polls are open all day on Sunday. Like, people
right.
I mean, some people work on Sundays, like the grocery stores and stuff are open. But like, it's easier to vote. And again, it's your one vote, one person, one vote. So it's not like, you can't say like, oh, there was gerrymandering or, like things got fucked up in the electoral college. It's like, no, just like have more people vote for that fucking candidate. And then things would have been different maybe. Although people think he would have lost in the second round anyway. But you know what I mean? Like, that's what's frustrating is I hear a lot of people on the far left complaining about Macron and having to vote for him or not voting for anyone because they, don't want to participate in that. It's like, well, it's very important for I get that it feels like one step forward, two steps back, but you can't let the far right candidate get, elected and I don't know, do something to improve the score of your candidate for like future elections. If I don't know, just like have more people fucking vote for him. It's anyway.
I mean, it's easy. It's a lot, but it's also easier said than done. And we don't need to get into it. We've been in, in this before. Because you have such a big country and blah, blah, blah. And you want to make sure you can win the most people over to your side. And But, a lot of the more left policies are actually quite popular. It's just the right bases everything in fear. Like, even the people that aren't... I mean, everybody, I guess, is predisposed to prejudices and whatnot. But, like, the people that, mind their own business and don't really follow politics. I had a coworker ask me on Friday because I was like... it was just me and her in the office, and I was like, just so you know, I'm going to be watching the Marjorie Taylor Greene trial on my other monitor, but like, you know, just I'll have headphones on, so, you know, sorry if it's distracting. And she was just like, "Who's Marjorie Taylor Greene?" And I was like, "Oh my God, there is a bigger faction in this country who don't know her and how batshit crazy it is, like the right has become, that they don't know that because they just don't follow, right? They don't follow until, you know, September of an election year. Like they just don't. And they don't, you know what's going on. And those are the people that are generally more prone to voting with more liberal causes because they are, you know, they're fine with, like, you know, the LGBTQ community. They don't think that, like, you know, kids are being indoctrinated by pedophiles in school, and like they think QAnon is bullshit and crazy. But because the headlines and the sensationalist stuff that the right peddles in fear and then stokes up, like, presents hatred as something, well, doesn't it make sense? Wouldn't you not want a teacher grooming your kid? And like nobody stops and thinks back, like, wait a second, I'm sorry, but how is reading a picture book where, you know, in a collage of pictures, there's two daddies holding hands. Like, how is that indoctrinating children? You know, like, because the average person...
more than having a picture of a man and a woman.
Right. But the average person's not going to go back that far because they just don't have time or they don't have the interest, right? So, and I think that's why the right does as well as they do, is because they just peddle in fear and hatred that's presented as a totally acceptable, well, you know, doesn't it just make sense? I'm just asking questions. I'm just putting it out there view. And when the left isn't, you know, when the left just comes back with like, no, we're not doing that. They want an insurrection. And nobody's following along to even remember what happened, because then the right just comes back with, no, it wasn't. It was Antifa. And yeah, maybe it was a small, you know, like it's just the way things are presented, and just being amongst the commoners, so to speak, like the lay people that don't follow along between my geocaching friends. And I have people that are engaged and, you know, follow along, but I also, in that group, there's plenty of people that just don't. Like, I had to convince my friend, my veterinarian friend, she wasn't going to vote, and I was like, oh no, baby, no, girlfriend, fill out your absentee ballot or go vote. And she was like, why? And she's like, politics is all whatever. Like, she just doesn't have the energy for politics, and that's a lot of people that work all the time just don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
Because, like, she has bumper stickers on her car that are very left bumper stickers. But, like, you know, it's just at the end of the day, if you don't see... at the end of the day, even if the left does something positive, it's not reported on as positive. It's always reported on, well, the left was fighting over this. Will it happen? Will it not? Will they get their shit together? And, you know, meanwhile... 20 more things could have happened. And, yeah, they might not be as big or sensationalized. But, like, you know, so it's the way things are portrayed, and the way the right just has a monopoly on presenting something as though it makes sense, as though it's logical, like, without eliciting, like, a thoughtful reaction from other people. And I mean the ambiguous voters, the people that don't pay attention until it matters.
Well, and if we could be a little more specific, I think the large swath of that community that we're talking about specifically are also white.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
They're not as affected. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like there is a bit of privilege in
They don't have to pay attention.
They don't have to be. It's not so do or die for them. They can kind of separate from, like, oh, well, politics don't affect my life directly. When really, like, it does. It affects all of our lives directly. You know, admittedly, some more than others, and that usually means disadvantaged people. Right.
And I have read from, you know, minority perspectives on Facebook and Twitter that there are swaths of communities of color that also don't pay attention, because they're like, well, it hasn't made my life better, so why is this going to change? Because they come out and they vote, and they come out and they do their part, and then everything gets lost within the bullshit, or they get let down, or it's just empty promises. So and like, because even like with a lot of the Build Back Better stuff, like, we have a Republican caucus that will not help at all. Then we have Manchin and Cinema that are just the fucking worst.
Fuck them.
They're just the bane in everybody's existence.
Yeah.
So, Anyway, yay politics.
Yay, politics.
Before we
I
move-
do think.
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to add that I agree with all of the above, and I think like the messaging is super important. I think that part of the problem, though, too, is this sort of like fundamental mindset of the left, sort of like, and God, you can tell me if this is my own bias, but like wanting to be more fair and wanting to be more logical and like intellectual. And sorry if I'm showing like, my own like snobbishness, but like, not just like peddling blatant bullshit that, and just like, doing things that harm other people out of fear for saying that it's, for these reasons that if you think about for 2 seconds don't make any sense.
Right. Well,
so I think it's like we try almost to play by and we should all play by the rules, and we should all play nice, and that should be what everyone's baseline is. But I just feel like it's less like that on the right, and certainly not 100%. Like, I'm not saying that everything's honky-dory on the left, but I just think that there is like an underlying
there's a stronger responsibility of moral obligation.
Yes.
Well, also, I think that a lot of the media on the left is so afraid of being screamed at for being biased that they forget that presenting facts, even if it looks unfavorably on one side, is not bias. It actually means that one side is doing something pretty shitty when written down on paper.
Right. The truth is the truth.
Well, and that's
sorry if it makes you look bad.
Right.
Well, exactly. And that's like trying to bend so much in the like, making like a fair portrayal of both sides. It's like, well, sometimes there actually aren't good people on both sides, and that's just facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So, a couple announcements before we move on. We're talking about Yellowjackets next week, May 2nd. Give me your feedback. I watched the entire show in a day. I could not stop watching it. I immediately started to rewatch the pilot before I realized, no, Colleen, you have to get to work. So I skipped through some parts, but I am going to rewatch it because I feel like there's a lot that's set up in that pilot that comes back throughout the rest of the season. A couple of heads up if you are on the fence about watching it. Yes, the first episode is gory and a bit disturbing. However, some of the more disturbing parts do not come back into play for that season. So if you're dreading that, don't worry about it.
It's a bit of a bummer, actually, having only watched the first episode, because I feel like I have some questions that might not get answered.
So the showrunners have said, so this is what I did. I finished the whole season in a day, 24 hours. No, or was it 24 hours? No, I think we watched, anyway, whatever. I watched the whole thing very quickly. And then I immediately read a bunch of comments and blog posts and reviews about it. I read Entertainment Weekly and Vanity Fair and Vulture and Variety and all of these different websites that had Q&As with the showrunners after the season was over. So got more information there. Wrote down a page and a half I am up to, of questions, and then the answers to my questions, and then notes that were taken and good points people brought up in comment sections. I've started going through their Reddit this evening, so I got super into it. The best I can do.
This all feels very much like the meme from like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with like Charlie Day and like the big board.
Yep, with the.
Yes, exactly.
It's very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I after the first episode, I was like, what did I get myself into? But, now I am all in. I really am excited. And for anybody out there, if you liked Lost, you will probably like this, because what it reminds me of is for years now, almost 20, we said, oh my God, can you imagine if Lost had not been on ABC and it was on HBO or Showtime? Well, this show is basically if HBO or Showtime had aired Lost in 2021. 2022. So, because there's definitely gore. In the first episode, you see somebody breaks their leg and you see their bone protruding out of their...
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was actually probably the grossest part.
Well, there's a lot more...
because it just was really realistic. There's
a lot more of realistic looking stuff like that. Just a heads up as we go on. Which I do think that I fully believe that some of the death scenes in Lost would have been a lot worse if it had been on Showtime. So just think like that. But the mystery is it's subtle and it hits you over the head at the same time. Like it's different. The different timelines are great. Like things interconnect. I really liked it. It's going to be so hard to control myself to keep the show to a reasonable length next week because I am so enthusiastic about talking about this show. So please send us your feedback. I am super stoked to talk about it. I also last week watched Pieces of Her, which is the Toni Collette show on Netflix. It's based on a book, which I might read now. I keep saying I'm going to read more books. I kind of haven't read one since February, but I'm going to get back into it now. So that was really good. I totally recommend that too. And then the final thing I had was I have a story about Zach. So I picked Zach up from Parks and Rec yesterday, Monday, as we're recording this. And before we even get out the doors and down the stairs to go to where the car's parked, he's like, Mommy, I got in trouble. And I was like, what happened? And he was like, I said the SH word. And I was just like, really? Like my little, I follow the rules, Zachary? Like, huh. So, I asked him like, well, what happened? And he tells me, that his friend was like trying to kill a wasp nest or a hornet's nest or something it must have been a wasp nest at recess, and he was scared that
have they not seen My Girl?
Right? He was scared that they were going to get him, the wasp. Yeah. So he goes, oh shit. Yeah. And then I said, well, what happened? He goes, I got a timeout. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, did your teacher yell at you? Did she hear you? He's like, no, the teacher didn't hear me. I was like, oh, did your friend tell on you? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, then how did she find out? He's like, well, I told on myself.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Zach. Oh, buddy.
Well, I didn't want to lie about it. He felt so bad about saying, oh shit, that he told the teacher on himself.
To harken back to our conversation about a strong moral compass.
Yeah. Then
that boy is not going to be a Republican.
I hope not. So then we get in the car, and I was like, well, it's okay, keep talking. I'm like, it's okay, Zach. Thank you for telling me. So then Alex wants to know what's going on because he's in the car, and he goes, Alex, I said the SH word at the playground. And Alex goes, Zachy said shit. And I was like, Alex, we don't say that word. That's a grown-up word. Why is shit a grown-up word? Zachy said shit. I was like,
fair question.
That is a fair question.
I was like, because I said it was a grown-up word. Well, poop is shit. Yes, it is.
You're correct.
Man, this kid's got logic.
I told you, he's like a 40-year-old in a 4-year-old body.
And I love how it's always all shouted.
Always. Well, it's shouted when I retell. When he retells it, it's loudly exclaimed in a adorable little 4-year-old voice. Zachy said shit. I'm
a poop of shit.
I'm pretty sure when we called Jay, because we called and tell him we were on our way home, and I told Zach that he could tell him when he got home. He didn't have to tell him over the phone, but like Zach was like, Daddy, I got in trouble today, and Jay was like, oh, why? And Alex just calls up from the bag, he said shit. I was like, stop
Right. He's found the best loophole.
Yeah. So then Zachary and I were talking last night, and Amanda, he was asking me, why do people say, like, what the heck, or other things, and what can you say instead of bad words? And I said, well, you know, my friend Amanda that I do the broadcast with, she says refrigerator instead. So if
More syllables.
Yeah. Like, so if you want to say that, like if a hornet's coming after you, you could be like, refrigerator!
I find it a more satisfying word to say.
Yeah. So I told him about that, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it can go either way.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
So my poor little Zachy told on himself.
I'm excited for Zach to be a teenager. This is going to be interesting.
Me too, because
I have nothing but respect for that.
honestly, though, like, because he already, like, has the moodiness and the temper tantrum. Like, he's very short-tempered. Like, he is, like, your stereotypical, like, short-tempered Italian. So I'm kind of worried about that a little bit. Just because, like, he'll be doing Legos in his room, and he'll be like, stupid Lego, why won't you go in? And then, like, 10 seconds later, he'll be like, never mind.
Well, but at least he won't be, like, sneaking out to go party.
Probably not. He does sneak food. I had caught. He has not done it since he got caught doing it, but he did at one point. You know, I caught food. I know I've shared. I catch food in Alex's room all the time because Alex gets up at 3 a.m, gets himself a snack, brings it back in his room, and then saves it. One day I was like, why are there goldfish all over you? Like, where are these crumbs from? And then I watched the tape, and I was like, oh, somebody was midnight snacking, which is the only reason why we have this stupid Nest Cam set up, is because we need to know what Alex is up to all night long. And it will be trained on his room outside one day. And then he'll get smart and go out, like, the downstairs door or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Alex doesn't care. On that note, though, let's take a quick break. We have some quick things once we get back. We have survival tips that were told to you that are actually bullshit, and some feedback, and maybe a couple other surprises, depending how quickly we get through it. So we'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. And the first bit that we have for you tonight is something that we pushed back from last week, and it is in honor of whatever we were talking about before that I said that this was coming, this was handy, and in honor of Yellowjackets next week. This was a BuzzFeed article from a couple weeks ago. People are sharing survival tips that are not only false, but could get you killed. So this was it was compiled from a Reddit thread, as all the best things are. The first thing is drinking water from a cactus. It's not safe if absolutely needed for survival. You could get some water out of a fish hook barrel cactus, but only a limited amount. Most cacti have various acids and other fun things in the water that will make you shit yourself to death. Dehydration in the desert isn't a laughing matter, and you don't want to lose the precious bit of water left in your body.
Shit.
Jeez.
Shit, said Zachary. Shit, said Zachary. Quote, Alex. The second one is that the desert is hot and little clothing is best. Cover up during both the day and the night. The sun will burn you and dehydrate you very quickly. And during the night, it's very common for people to die of hypothermia because the temperature drops so fast. And the wind is awful.
Yeah. This is reminding me of that book I read last year about all the ways people died in the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Oh, right.
This next one is something that I 100% learned, and it is running in a zigzag to outrun an alligator. Alligators do not run for long distances, so that will probably just waste your energy. They can also climb some fences and trees as well.
What?
Holy shit!
So
It still blows my mind that alligators.
Alex Gators. Alex Gators.
It blows my mind that alligators are an animal that exists, like, in real life, in our world, in our country. That's fucking wild.
There was a video that went around the internet over the past couple of days of 2 alligators just fucking randomly walking down the street in Florida because it's mating season.
I saw that.
You saw that too?
Yeah,
I was like,
I saw that, and I was like,
no,
this is fucking nuts. And Frank was kind of like, oh, where did they escape from? Like, I don't know, thinking it was a zoo or something. And I was like, no, it's Florida. They just live there. Like, it's wild. They're basically dinosaurs walking around.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, the earth. It's crazy.
Yeah, alligators are terrifying.
Another reason not to live in Florida. Terrifying.
This is another one that I was taught, not by my dad though, actually, but that moss grows on the north side of a tree. It can grow all over the tree. So
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make your decisions based on that. The next thing is, if you're in a tornado, you should open all your windows to equalize the pressure inside to match the outside. If you're in a tornado, opening any window or door will create a wind tunnel that rips your entire roof off. So don't open your windows.
Jeez.
That makes sense. The next one is that lightning never... Now, I have not fact-checked any of these fact-checks, so...
Sure.
Take them with a grain of
We
salt.
did say it was. This is BuzzFeed, right? So take it for what you will.
Yes. Well, it's BuzzFeed based on Reddit.
Right. Hey, but that thing about clothing in the desert is totally true, though.
Yeah. Wear the
Don't
clothes.
take off your clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wear the clothes. Yeah.
Cover up.
That lightning never strikes the same place twice. If lightning has found a path that it likes, it's likely to strike multiple times. That's why lightning rods work.
That actually makes so much sense. Like, yeah. You don't say.
That the bullshit change your voicemail if you were lost PSA that was making the rounds over the last few years. You need a cell signal to save your voicemail, so if you have a signal, then just call for help.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, no, me neither.
But it does sound very dumb.
Yeah, it
Change
sounds like
your
something that would go
lost.
around the internet. Let's see what else. This one actually very much surprised me. That you should be quiet to be safe from an avalanche because they're caused by sound. Sound does not trigger avalanches. Even very loud sounds are nowhere near enough. Avalanche control is done with howitzers. Sorry, I know I'm pronouncing that word wrong. And dynamite charges.
Never even seen that word before.
Me neither.
Let's see. Concerning frostbite, do not rub somebody's frostbitten skin or pour hot water on it to warm them up. Such measures will damage the skin more severely. Soak them in warm water. I had always heard cool water or warm water because doing the extremes will trigger the body reaction of the other way. That's why if you like went running or did something that you're very overheated, do warm water because cold water will trigger your body to release more of the heat, to overheat more because it's reacting to the cold at first. Urban survival truths. If you hear shots, go home. If you hear yelling, ignore it and go home. If someone is following you, don't go home. If using Uber or Lyft, check the license plate against your app info and ask the name of your driver. Walk purposefully with your head up and act like you belong.
I'm confused about this one.
So that is do those things. So basically, don't run towards yelling. Don't run towards gunshots. Don't go home if someone's following you because you don't want them to have your address.
But you do need to check the license plate number.
Right.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
That is, I have done that on many occasions. Well, not many occasions. I've been followed many a time, but there has been instances where I've been followed and you walk the other direction.
Yeah.
Don't go home.
This next one, I refuse to believe is true. I refuse it because I heard the story about the guy on the Titanic that survived, and that is drinking alcohol when you are freezing will keep you warm. No, it won't. It will bring on hypothermia much sooner. And this links to a Mayo Clinic link that supposedly proves is true, but I am sorry. I heard the story about the musician on the Titanic that survived in the freezing water because he got shit-faced because he thought he was going to drown, and that helped him live. And that story inspires me, and that's that.
Yeah. It reminds me of a story that I heard that happened in Montana when I was there in February, and it's not. Yeah, not good.
It did not go the way of the Titanic myth.
Sure didn't.
Oh, okay.
Sure didn't. Yeah.
Almost done. That you should stand in a doorway during an earthquake. I live in an earthquake-prone area. The doorway will collapse. You're safer under a table. Okay.
Or outside. Get outside.
Mm.
And that's actually linked to by CUSEC.org, Common Earthquake Myths. So there is actually something to back that up. And then finally, if your plane is crashing, an inflatable raft makes a terrible parachute. Mythbusters busted this. I feel like if your plane is crashing, you're going to die anyway. So hope that you get cell phone service to say goodbye to your loved ones.
Oh.
I think
Unless
about
you're,
that all the time.
somewhere in the mountains in Canada.
Somewhere.
You might
somewhere
survive
in the
the plane
Canadian
crash.
Rockies. But in 1996, where they arguably didn't have. Okay, that's that. Let's move on into some feedback. The first bit of feedback we have is actually a happy birthday to Paul and a happy birthday to Brian, our non-DP specialist.
Yay! Happy birthday!
I know also had a birthday within the last
birthday.
week.
Happy birthday to all.
Woohoo!
It's the perfect date.
The perfect date. That's right, Paul's birthday. It's not too hot and it's not too cold.
Yep.
Gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen Miss Congeniality, but I need to rewatch it and see if it holds up. But I feel like it has to. All right, and then I guess we've got some That's What She Said.
I finished mine on Easter.
I try to do it before the 28th of February.
How much did you invest in this apparatus?
Maybe there's too much stuff down there.
If you want to put them up, there's no time too soon.
You're recording us, so the tape will have it.
By European standards, it wasn't that long.
I'm just pulling on stuff I don't need.
I'll go with Muffin.
Who's Muffin? Sorry, that was a throwback joke. If anyone listening got it.
That
It's
is
an RHAP reference. No big deal. A very old one. Who's Muffin?
I forgot all about that, actually, until you said it in that tone. I've forgotten all about that.
So funny.
Oh my god. Okay.
Swipe left or right?
They don't always lay.
Why did I finish that so fast?
Because I liked looking at it.
I had to pull the thing.
And then it came out of the hole, which released the pressure.
I'm going to wait till it's all out.
Thank you, Matt. We have 2 emails tonight. We have one from Andy and one from Brian. First one is from Brian, our favorite non-DP specialist and also a recent birthday boy.
Yes, happy belated. Brian, our favorite non-DP specialist, writes in, "The working girl goes to Pound Town," and other thoughts. And a happy Tuesday every evening to you, Colleen, Shandy, and Amanda. Hope all is well in each of your worlds. Enough with the pleasantries. Let's just jump right in. Colleen, thanks for answering the question about why the golden shandy is displayed in all its splendor in your home. But I have questions. Number 1, does it point straight up like it's peering intently at the ceiling with its one good eye? Or is it at a more jaunty and anatomically correct angle?
Hold on, let me get it out while you're asking these questions.
What she said. So you can contemplate and answer the questions as we go.
It sticks straight up.
All right. 2, can it be mounted on a wall and used to hang your hat on? If so, why haven't you done that?
Because I would need to get the tape that sticks in the wall, and I am lazy and have not done that.
That reminds me of Broad City with the dildo on the wall. Okay, number 3. Does the sun ever reflect off it and blind you?
No, because it's matte.
Not that Matt.
M-A-T-T.
And 4, do kids or company ever comment about it?
No, because I put it away when they come over. I mean, it's very realistic looking. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's creases. There's veins. It's
a trophy.
It is a trophy.
All right. Brian continues. I like the idea of a population listing on the neon "Welcome to Pound Town" sign you want to put up facing your neighbors. Welcome to Pound Town, population 1. Damn it. Or welcome to Pound Town, population 2 or 3 has potential. If you really want to share TMI with the neighbors, illuminate a "Hot Now" sign when there is a festival going on in Pound Town.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's so funny. A la what Krispy Kreme donut shops do when the donuts are coming out of the oven.
I need
donuts.
that. I need a Christmas ornament that is the Krispy Kreme Hot Now thing, but instead of Krispy Kreme original glazed, it just says "Welcome to Pound Town" in the middle. I want that. I want that so badly. I want that as much as I want Pound Town. Which, you know,
I have to say.
So I want it a couple of days a week, but like I want it now.
Brian went so far as to insert an image of said sign from Krispy Kreme.
Also, the population. No, it's to say "Welcome to Pound Town," population U. Just to make the neighbors very uncomfortable.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Brian continues, yep, I totally dropped the ball, so to speak, concerning the Goblin King's codpiece. I mentioned the fact that I didn't see one in the movie to a friend of mine last week, and she remorselessly chastised me and immediately sent proof. I had envisioned some sort of elaborately ornate codpiece and missed the obvious. It's those types of observation skills that make me the scientist that I am. Shame on me. Well, you know, I can't blame you if you didn't have your eye out for the codpiece. I'm still voting for Matt Berry as the Goblin King if there is a remake of Labyrinth, though I recognize your vote for Harry Styles is based on a different motivation than comedy potential. Check Matt Berry out in Toast of London, Darth Marenghi's Dark Place, or the IT Crowd. Toast of London is particularly outstanding. I finally finished the movie Trifecta and watched Working Girl. Maybe this is recency bias, but I liked this one the best of the 3.
Really?
I was rooting for Tess. I was rooting for Tess. I've already forgotten which one Tess was. I didn't really learn their names.
I think that was Melanie Griffith's character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The star.
I was rooting for Tess, railing against shitty 80s dudes, enjoying the 80s nostalgia, booing Catherine Parker, noticed a couple of other eye-opening bits, etc. A couple more details. Yowza! The Goblin King yearned for Joan Cusack's and Melanie Griffith's big hair. The tons of hairspray used in the 80s in the quest for ever larger bangs surely led to giant holes in the ozone layer.
That's what she said.
The crowd coming off of the ferry is a veritable cornucopia of 80s stereotypes. Glorious. I may have to break out my 1988 senior year of high school yearbook now. I went to high school in the 80s in East Tennessee, so you know there are some epic photos in my yearbook. Holy mackerel. Today, out of left field porn on the screen. I don't remember ever seeing that swimming stroke in the Olympics. What would that event even be called? Wait, did I say totally out of left field or today out of left field?
Totally.
Did I just fuck that up?
No, you said totally.
We're good?
You're good.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard totally. I don't know if it's because I'm reading along with you, but I heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. According to the fantastic message Tess wrote on the ticker, maybe David Lutz was the model for the Golden Shandy. 2 of my favorites already in it. Joan Cusack and Sigourney Weaver. Joan Cusack is always underrated. I swear that not all dudes are jerks. # not all men. As is said in my home state. As is said in my home state, the sun don't shine on the same dog's ass every day, but Tess ain't seen a ray of light since she got there. I'm pulling for her. What's up, Han Solo? No Chewie in NYC? Missed crossover opportunity. Really got into the movie there for about an hour and forgot the running commentary. Sorry about that. So how often do women vacuum topless, wearing only panties and pumps? Excellent question. I've never witnessed that phenomenon.
I do it all the time.
Superfluous female nudity in the 80s in an 80s movie? Who knew? The stuffed gorilla Catherine just gave to Tess is mighty random. Guess Coco won't be learning any more sign language. Phew. I'm glad it worked out for Tess in the end, and Catherine got what was coming to her. I got worried for a moment that it was not going to be a happy ending. Thanks for the inspiration and encouragement to watch those 3 movies. I enjoyed them all. So what's next? Well, let me tell you, Brian. Yellowjackets. So many words. My apologies. Sending good vibes and hoping you all have a good rest of the week. Until the next time, always your friendly neighborhood Brian, the non-DP specialist. Thank you, Brian.
But seriously, Yellowjackets. That's what's next.
Get on it.
Yeah.
Watch what you can. Send us your feedback. Finish watching it and then listen to us. I mean, truly, you have a week-ish.
Yeah.
You've got all the time.
That's like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And granted, they
bad.
are all
It's not
close
my
to an
so-called-
hour.
Right. It's not my so-called life.
It's not. The only thing is,
But also watch that.
Yeah. But watch Yellowjackets first. You can send us in some feedback. Everyone needs to. I want to talk about this so badly. So badly. I'm just saying. And yes, each episode is an hour. But to be fair, their theme song opening credits sequence is like 4 minutes long. So it's really like only 56
Well, that's good
minutes.
to know.
It is. It's truly long. But it's worth watching at least once. And I will say that. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it and pay attention at least once. Because there are Easter eggs to things that happen later on in the season within that like 100-minute opening title sequence. Which I skipped it every.
I don't think it's in the pilot, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
Usually, title sequences don't appear in pilots.
No, it doesn't. And I don't even know if it's in the second one. It might not be until the third or the fourth.
Oh,
but it's very long. And I skipped through it 100% of the time. And then when I was going through comments and interviews and Reddit and stuff, people were commenting on things that were in that opening thing, so then I had to go back and rewatch it, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that was my bad. So yeah, just at least watch it one time, whether when you can do it now or when you're done with it, and then go back and be like, oh yeah, there, look at that, like I did or whatever. But yeah,
so it doesn't change. It's not like Game of Thrones where they would like throw in different things to. Like,
I hope not, because I only went back and rewatched the one from the finale. So
I very rarely skip an open, but if it is as long and tedious as you say it is, then
it's very long.
perhaps
However,
this will be the first.
One theme song opening that I never, ever, 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 ever skipped once is the one to Peacemaker with the song and the dance. The whole cast is dancing. It's amazing. Oh, I miss Peacemaker. What a
Can't
great
say
show.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, it's really funny. John Cena and Robert Patrick and the whole cast. They're doing this dance that Alan Tudyk's wife is the choreographer. So she came up with a dance and she tested it on him because he's not a dancer, and then taught the whole cast. And that's the whole opening credits is the cast doing this dance every time, and it's hilarious. It's very fun. It totally sets the tone for the whole series. Anyway, thank you so much, Brian. We really appreciate it. Next up, we've got an update from Andy.
All right, we're changing it up, and I'm going to read Andy's email this week. So, this week in Andy's Virginity. Hey, broads. So far, so good with the new guy, or NNG, or whatever we're calling him. I like NNG. We can keep that. Right now, I'm more concerned about getting sick since there seems to be some non-COVID colds going around my area. Also, mine too. Hopefully that's what I have currently. Well, we also still have COVID, obviously, besides those who want to pretend it's over. Truth. Unfortunately, with that, there isn't much I can do that I haven't been doing already. So hopefully I'll continue to be cold-free as we get NNG up to speed. I've been able to stay relatively healthy through this whole thing, and it would suck to get sick now. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hashtag I'm with hers, Andy.
Godspeed, Andy.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Godspeed.
I hope it's not COVID, and I hope you're feeling better.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember Zach had COVID? Well, those were marked as unexcused absences on his report card.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was pretty bummed. He got his report card home.
That's some BS, that.
He got it home on Friday, and, he did very well. But it said 2 absences, and I'm like, 2 absences? When was he out? And then I remembered, oh, that's right. Literally the first 2 days back from winter break, he had COVID, and he couldn't come to school, so... Because it was Martin Luther King Day and they were off, and that was day 2 of his quarantine. And then 3 and 4 were Tuesday and Wednesday, and he went back on Thursday. And yeah, those are listed as unexcused absences.
Why do they count them like that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But they counted as unexcused absences.
Because it's not like it's gonna.
Yeah, it's not gonna affect.
But it's like,
Right, but still.
if you wanted to have perfect attendance, what? Come on.
Which, be honest, nobody in this household. I had perfect attendance from kindergarten through 5th grade. Thank you very much. But nobody in this household in present day gives a shit about perfect attendance.
It was a different time.
Different time.
Definitely. I had to appeal in high school because I missed too many days.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I took a second spring break. It was my fault. And it was fine. They accepted my appeal. But I couldn't go to senior skip day or my senior keg because I would have had to miss school.
Oh.
Also, it was illegal, but also because I would have missed school.
Right. Well, that would have been Zach. No, I feel like even that Zach would be like, well, everybody else is doing it, right? I'm not. If I don't curse during it, can I just go?
Oh no, I would have 100% gone if it wasn't for the fact that I was not allowed to miss any more school.
Right.
If I wanted to graduate.
Right. All right, everybody. On that note, thank you for playing. We are nearing the home stretch of our 6th season. Oh my goodness. We almost have 6 complete years here, which is insane. Next week, as we've said, we're going to talk about Yellowjackets, so get your feedback in about that show. No feedback is too big or too small. For 9 p.m. on May 2nd, Eastern Time, thebroadcasters3@gmail.com. Seriously, super excited to talk about it. Super excited. Thebroadcasters3@gmail.com, 331-276-2373. You can leave it in the Facebook group, but that might be spoilery, so please make sure you have spoiler tags. Or you can, leave a voice memo over email, whatever, however, just get us the things. We have our annual meetup is happening May 13th through the 15th. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that's coming into town for that. Shandy, I'm going to miss you, but I'm also looking forward to the fact that I can randomly stalk you on any given weekend. So that'll be fun.
Yes. Yes. We can go hiking together.
I can, if you decide to run the marathon in Raleigh next November, which Michael has run, not Aaron, so maybe Aaron needs to come down and the 2 of you can run it with Frank. But if you decide to do that, I can train you on the hills because I have run all the hills around my area.
Nice.
Just saying.
Yes.
Good
I will
times.
certainly look into that.
It's the City of Oaks Marathon, and it's the same day as the New York City Marathon, but it's here.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. On that note, thank you to the patrons, especially the patrons that contribute a certain level, and that would be Eckhart Rick Neartack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thank you guys so much. I only say poopy head because it makes Shandy laugh every single time.
And also when I listen to Survivor JJC, it also makes me laugh.
It's good. Check out Survivor JJC. We're long overdue on a Zachary episode for that. What else? If you have any survival tips, let us know, because I feel like that's kind of relevant in real life, in general, like for real. And then birthday party. We are still waiting on a birthday party date, so be patient with us on that. It will probably be the week of June. So it'll either be it'll be the week of June 20th. So either the 21st, 22nd, or 23rd of that week. We just don't know which day of the week it will be, so stay tuned for that. And then we're getting into blooper season soon, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I had something I was going to read today, and then I realized that this will be a lot more fun to read when there's a lot of people on the Zoom to get the reaction. Ooh. So I am looking forward to that, and I am saving that for whenever we have our birthday party. So on that note, everybody, thank you for playing. We will see you next week. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.